So Bono walks into Joe Rogan's podcast yesterday and basically weaponizes dead Africans like he's selling concert tickets. I'm not even joking.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Tessa, here we go.
Listen to this. He goes, 300,000 people have already died from USAID cuts. Then, literally seconds later admits, it's not proven, but the surveillance suggests, mate, you just dropped 250,000 body count like you're reading footy scores, then go, nah, not proven though.
Because he's sounding an actual alarm about a humanitarian crisis while you're playing gotcha journalism with semantics.
Semantics! He's using dead children as marketing copy. And get this. This absolute maniac then brags to Rogan about telling George W. Bush to paint AIDS pill bottles red, white, and blue so dying Africans could become walking billboards for American soft power. I cannot make this up.
You're deliberately missing the point.
The point? The point is, Warren Buffett coached him on how to emotionally hack Americans. He literally said, don't appeal to their conscience, appeal to their greatness. That's not philanthropy. That's psychological warfare disguised as charity.
Psychological warfare? Tessa, the man helped create PEPFAR, which has saved 26 million lives.
While 50,000 tons of food sits rotting in warehouses because nobody knows the bloody access codes. You know why? Because the aid industrial complex is so bloated with consultants and overhead that when they fire people, actual food rots while kids starve.
That's exactly why he's on Rogan. To explain that these knee-jerk budget cuts are killing people. You're literally proving his point while criticizing him for making it.
Oh, please. This is the same guy who moves U2's tax base to avoid paying his fair share, then lectures the world about global poverty. Even Irish Finance Minister Michael McGrath called him out. If Bono's not paying his fair share, others suffer as a result.
So now we're doing tax returns instead of talking about kids being pulled off IVs?
Because it's all connected. The Red campaign spent $100 million on marketing and raised $18 million. Do the math. More money on celebrity photo shoots than actual aid.
That's completely outdated. Ready has raised $785 million helping 325 million people. But you'd rather quote decade-old Wall Street Journal hit pieces than acknowledge.
A Zambian economist, Dambisa Moyo, said it perfectly. They've become the face of Africa with their 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: war, disease, corruption, poverty. Where are the African voices in Bono's poverty porn roadshow?
You want African voices? How about Minister Dikolote from Botswana saying, we couldn't have reached our HIV targets without PEPFAR? Or Minister Nkosi from Eswatini saying their population was about to be wiped out until these programs kicked in?
Oh, right, because the optics of African ministers thanking their white savior definitely isn't part of the propaganda machine.
White savior? Are you actually insane? Jesse fucking Helms, one of the most conservative senators in history, said Bono had his facts in hand and was genuine. Biden just gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This isn't partisan theater.
Because he's brilliant at playing the game. Paul Theroux nailed it. There are more annoying things than being hectored about African development by a wealthy Irish rock star in a cowboy hat. But I can't think of one at the moment.
Oh, wow, Paul Theroux doesn't like being lectured. Meanwhile, 25 million people are alive because Bono convinced Congress to fund life-saving treatment. But sure, let's prioritize literary critics' feelings over breathing humans.
You're missing the fundamental point. Andrew Mwenda, a Ugandan journalist, interrupted Bono at TED and asked, what man or nation has ever become rich by holding out a begging bowl? Africa doesn't need another messiah complex masquerading as aid.
And Bono agrees. He literally said, aid is just a stopgap. Entrepreneurial capitalism takes more people out of poverty than aid. The man has evolved, but you're stuck critiquing his 2000 massive playbook.
Evolved? He's on Rogan dropping unverified death tolls, like he's announcing album sales. 300,000 dead, but hey, no proof. Then pivots to his greatest hits. Remember when I told Bush to turn AIDS meds into American flag merchandise?
Because he's trying to save lives using whatever language works. You think he should have let 250,000 people die to preserve your aesthetic preferences about messaging?
My aesthetic preferences? The man literally admitted Warren Buffett taught him to manipulate American psychology instead of appealing to basic human decency. That's not noble. That's sociopathic marketing.
It's effective marketing. George W. Bush called him the real deal because results matter more than your purity tests. When kids are choosing which children to pull off IV drips, which is literally happening right now, maybe we focus on solutions instead of tone policing.
You know what? Fine. Let's say he saves lives. But at what cost? He's turned African suffering into a brand where he's the star. Western governments are the heroes, and Africans are the grateful props. That's not aid. That's modern colonialism with a U2 soundtrack.
And you know what's modern colonialism? Sitting in your comfortable studio critiquing the only rock star who convinced 2 different presidents to fund life-saving medicine while you contribute exactly 0 solutions. When you can claim 26 million lives saved, call me. Until then, maybe shut up and let the adults handle the dying children.
Did you just tell me to shut up about dead kids?
I told you to shut up about tone policing while kids are actually dying.
And that, folks, is how you know we've found the real hot take. When defending Bono turns you into the villain.
Oh, fuck off, Tessa.
Love you too, babe.